Hey, my name is Lenore Butay, and I'm doing a lesson on Pythagorean's theorem to primarily adult students, a lot of international students, and people who haven't had math in many years and need to take standardized tests. So this is just one component of that. Okay, so we're going to review the formula, which you know that a squared plus b squared is equals c squared, and a and b are their sides, and c is the hypotenuse, the long diagonal opposite the right angle. So the main point is that they recognize what side is what when they're given a word problem. Okay, so here I'm just showing them samples of classic word problems, and I recommend that the student draw the picture, and then they take their right triangle and they find out where the right triangle is. So here they're talking about one jogger going in different directions. This one's going west, straight west. This one's going straight south. So what is the distance between them? So the student who's an adult can take one of these, and they can try to find out what angle matches that. So it would appear as though this one does. So they can take this and take it down to there and line it up. Okay, and then they know where their right angle is. So when the question asks them, what is the distance between there, they know that that is the long angle. Okay, this is your baseball diamond picture. You know, international students don't know sometimes that a baseball is a diamond. So they're asking a question about what is if they tell you the size of the diamond, the different dimensions, they want to know what the distance is between first and third base. Okay, so we have our, well, I put it in there for you. Okay, so they have to take their triangle and drop it in there, and they realize that this is the right angle and that is the hypotenuse. So if they know that, if they are given the whatever two sides they can get, they are given, they can solve for the unknown, the third side. Okay, so here is this, they always seem to have, this is the most common question I would say on the standardized test, is the one with the ladder against the wall. So if you have the side of a house and you put a ladder against it, they often ask you, like, if the ladder is, the distance from the top of the ladder to the ground is so far, that's the diagonal. And then they might ask you the distance from the edge of the ladder to the house is so far. They'll say, how far is the ladder, the height of the ladder against the wall? So they have to take their triangle, and then they're going to have to rotate it to figure out, you know, and then they have to move it up to figure out primarily where is that right angle, which is here, and then they can do the math with that. Okay, now the next one is the doghouse one, which is similar to the what I call the tent one. So they say, like, this, from the top of the doghouse to this corner is such and such a distance, and then they'll say the bottom of the doghouse is so far apart. Then they'll say, how high is the doghouse? So the student has to figure out that you have to cut that, you have to split that bottom of the doghouse in half. It's not going to really work. Okay, I had to color my triangle there. So you have to realize that this base of the doghouse, it's only half, the length of that one side is only half that. Okay, and that's, this one is the shadow one with the tree. And typically they ask you that, they might say that the height of the tree to the end of the shadow is such and such a distance, and then the distance from the middle of the tree to the edge of the shadow is so much, and they'll ask you how tall is the tree. Okay, so they need to draw the tree, draw the shadow, and figure out where the right angle is. So here we can take this and move it in there and figure out where the right angle is. Okay, and this is the tent, which is the same as the doghouse question. If they say that the distance from the tip of the tent here to the side is such and such a distance, and then the base of the tent is so long, then they have to realize that they're asking for where the right angle is, and they're only asking them for half of the base to be the one of the legs of the triangle. So then I would finish this lesson with asking them real questions, and they should draw the image and decide where the right triangle is, fill in the actual distances, and then solve the problem. Because in some standardized tests, they do not give you a physical image. So if it's a pure word problem. So the one is like the baseball diamond is a square with sides of 90 feet. What is the shortest distance to the nearest tenth of a foot between first base and third base? Okay, and Oscar's doghouse is shaped like a tent. The slanted sides are both 5 feet long and the bottom is 6 feet across. What is the height of the doghouse? And then they say 2 joggers are running 8 miles north and then 5 miles west. What is the shortest distance to the nearest tenth of a mile they must travel to return to their starting